Take away the team owners. Take away the franchises that leave town. Take away the mid-season games that don't matter. Take away the idea that a woman's career ends because she has a baby. Take away adding a W to a men's league. Take away all that, and what are you left with? The world's best athletes. Changing the game, one sport at a time. Athletes Unlimited.
Welcome to the Athletes Unlimited inaugural volleyball season. We're coming to you from Fair Park Coliseum in Dallas, Texas, where 45 of the world's best volleyball players have come together to compete over the next 5 weeks. Joining us remotely, welcome players from the Athletes Unlimited softball and lacrosse leagues, members of the advisory board, and special guests. To get things started, please welcome Athletes Unlimited CEO and co-founder John Patrikoff and co-founder Jonathan Soros.
Hey there. I really can't express to you how excited I am to finally be here and to welcome you to the inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. It was August 2019 when John and I flew out to Anaheim to meet with Karch Karai and Jamie Davis, and with their kind introduction with Jordan and the other members of the U.S. national team. That was still very early days for Athletes Unlimited. We had 1,000 questions as we were trying to figure out options and consider the possibilities. And they all had 1,000 questions for us about our ideas for format and scheduling and training. But it was that day and those conversations that really set us on the path to being here today. Because if there's one takeaway from those meetings, it was that even for those who had lived the dream of playing for their country in volleyball, there was another powerful dream to bring professional volleyball to the United States. 18 months later, and here you all are, bringing that dream to life. We wouldn't be here without the advice and support of Karch and Jamie and USA Volleyball. They've been amazing partners. But mostly, we wouldn't be here without you and the incredible members of the Player Executive Committee who built this league with us step by step, week by week, player by player. John and I made a decision early on to center our leagues around you, the athletes, from the names of the leagues to the stories we tell, from the leaderboard to, perhaps most importantly, the decision-making on and off the field, or in this case, the court. There isn't an aspect of Athletes Unlimited that isn't better for you all having built it with us. So thank you for all the work that you've already done, and thank you for being the inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. I hope you all are going to have as much fun competing over the next 5 weeks as we and the rest of the world are going to have watching.
It's not very often that you get to be part of a new venture from day one. For all of us here today, the athletes, the staff, the partners of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball, we are all here on day one of a new sports league. A league that we hope will open opportunities for future generations of players to play professional volleyball and lift up you as athletes as civic leaders. Volleyball is a global sport that is on the rise. It's played by over 900 million people around the world. More girls play high school volleyball in the United States than basketball. So as a result, the common question for most people when they heard about Athletes Unlimited Volleyball is, how is it possible that there is not a pro women's indoor volleyball league in the United States? After today, the answer is much easier. There is. I want to thank a number of people for being part of the journey to make this league a reality. I want to start with the staff at Athletes Unlimited. We're incredibly fortunate to have such a dedicated and creative team behind this effort. From operations to storytelling to coaching, you have embraced every challenge that we have confronted in a unified and tireless manner. I want to thank the City of Dallas, the Dallas Sports Commission, and Executive Director Monica Paul for welcoming us and for your efforts to help us get this new venture off the ground. Volleyball is a sport with a rich history in Dallas, and you embrace the opportunity to add Athletes Unlimited to the city's incredible roster of world-class sporting events. Today, we are standing in Fair Park Coliseum, a venue at the center of Fair Park, an incredible 277-acre National Historic Landmark. The Fair Park Coliseum has recently undergone a major renovation, and we're proud that Athletes Unlimited Volleyball is the first event to be held here. More changes are coming to Fair Park as part of a master plan redevelopment that has recently been approved by the Dallas City Council. We look forward to seeing this work continue. I want to thank Darren James, the chair of Fair Park First, and Peter Sullivan, Scott Norton, and Dee Hirsch from Spectra for inviting us to Fair Park and working so hard with us over these past months. The journey to get here has not been an easy one for any of us. From a global health crisis to the terrible storms right here in Dallas over the past 10 days. Many of the staff at Fair Park and Spectra have been personally affected as a result of the storm, but nonetheless did their best to make this day a reality. We thank you all. I want to thank our incredible corporate and media partners without whom this would not be possible. This season, we are honored to have world-class corporate partners who have invested to help us create an amazing experience for athletes and for fans. Matches will be able to be seen on television and across a network of digital partners. We want to thank CBS and Fox for their commitment, as well as a network of TV partners around the world that will bring Athletes Unlimited to over 100 countries. In addition, this season, 8 of our matches will be made available worldwide across a network of digital partners that includes Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Dailymotion, ensuring that everyone with an internet connection can watch the upcoming games without having to pay anything extra. And finally, and most importantly, I want to thank you, the athletes of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. You're an incredible group of athletes. Collectively, you've earned 8 NCAA championships, 5 Olympic medals. You've played 147 Pro League seasons in 28 countries, from South Korea to Switzerland, from the Philippines to Peru, from Brazil to Belgium. However, just as importantly, you are leaders off the court and in your communities. At Athletes Unlimited, we are committed to uplifting you and helping you make the most of the platform that you rightfully have earned as role models. Each of you is playing for a cause of your choice, and at the end of the season, you'll earn not just cash prizes for yourself, but for the cause you've selected. In addition, we've worked with Abby Wambach, one of our great board of advisors, Wolfhack Advisory, and Mariner Wealth Advisors to create Athletes Plus, a program that will provide you with leadership development courses, financial literacy training, and more. To arrive in Dallas, you traveled over 60,000 miles by plane and by car. And some of you have come with your children and your spouses, who themselves have had to make sacrifices to join you on this journey. Over the next 5 weeks, you will be competing on the court to earn points for yourself and your teammates. But off the court, I know you will come away a strong community. At the end of the season, we'll award cash prizes to the top players. But in addition, we will mark your achievement in 2 important ways. First, the top players will receive custom medals designed by Max Lang. Max got his start crafting silver bridle sets for show host owners, and then began crafting saddle silver and eventually belts and buckles for everyone from Willie Nelson to Loretta Lynn to President George W. Bush. The front face of the medal represents the identity of Athletes Unlimited. The back face of the medal reflects Athletes Unlimited mission, vision, and values, on and off the court. Excellence, community, and leadership. Second, all of your names will be inscribed in the Book of Unlimited, inspired by ancient texts and illuminated manuscripts, as well as traditional engraving used on trophies like the Stanley Cup. The Book of Unlimited will not only keep the names of those who compete, but the stories, highlights, and events of all Athletes Unlimited leagues and seasons. This book weighs nearly 25 pounds, and it's over 500 pages, and it was designed, handmade, and bound for Athletes Unlimited. The book was opened for the first time at the beginning of the inaugural softball season in August 2020, and it was closed after the champion's name was inscribed at the conclusion of the final game. Today, we open the Book of Unlimited again, and at the conclusion of the season and the inscribing of the champion's name, the book will be closed until we open it for the start of our next Athletes Unlimited season, lacrosse, this July. These 2 traditions strive to encompass the spirit of Athletes Unlimited. The trophies recognize athletic excellence and the value of competition, and the Book of Unlimited should remind you all that you will forever be part of the history of this league and remembered not only for your contributions on the court, but off the court as well. Thank you for leading us on this journey and helping to blaze a path on which generations to come will follow.
Here with a message on behalf of the players, please welcome two-time Pan American gold medalist with Team USA and chairperson of the Athletes Unlimited Player Executive Committee for Volleyball, Cassidy Lichtman.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Cassidy Lichtman, the chair of the Player Executive Committee for Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. And I think I speak for many players here when I say that the idea of a new pro league in the US for a long time has felt like a bit of a pipe dream. And so to see it come to fruition in such a huge and intentional way, and to be a part of that, has been really incredible. And it made me think about this time when I was a kid, sitting on the floor of my middle school gym with my team. And our coach said, imagine that this gym, floor to ceiling, was a measure of how much you could understand about this game. He said, you know, the best players in here at 12 years old, they're maybe at head height. He said, I've been coaching and playing for decades, and I'm maybe halfway up. And he said, up there, hovering right around the ceiling, those are the best in the world. The Karch Karais and Logan Toms and Lang Pings. And I remember sitting there and looking up and thinking, I want to know. I want to know what it's like up there. But I only ever got a glimpse of those players maybe once every 4 years during the Olympics, and I definitely couldn't see the path to get there. And it wasn't until I got to college and was playing that I realized that was because there was no path, not within our country. And so I'm excited to get out and compete, but what I'm most excited about, what I want is for kids around this country to look up and to see the path, to see opportunities, and to see what they could be. And even more than that, now standing on this side of it, I want them to look up and to see these women who are unapologetically powerful, who are moms and entrepreneurs and leaders and Olympians, who are competitive and collaborative, confident and kind. I want them to look up and to see women who are different in size and color and language, and who are not only allowed to be all that we are, but who are celebrated for it. I want them to look up and to see that we are unlimited and know that they can be too. And so on behalf of these women, I want to say two things. One is thank you to John Patrikoff and Jonathan Soros and the entire AU staff and CSM and the extended team and our sponsors and our partners and everybody who is helping us to build this path for and with us. And the second thing I want to say is that we're about to play some really good volleyball over the next 5 weeks, so I highly recommend that everybody tune in.
Next up, to say a few words, former Penn State All-American and unanimous All-Big Ten honoree, Deja McClendon.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for being here and joining us today. It's so inspiring to be looking out at such a strong, diverse group of amazing athletes. All of us have a unique voice and a story to tell that Athletes Unlimited has really worked hard to recognize and to make sure that it's been properly represented. Today, we are pleased to welcome a very special guest all the way from the National Academy of Dramatic Arts in Paris, France, and a former track and field athlete at the University of California, Berkeley. She will be performing an original piece on behalf of the players to amplify their voices, shine light on their stories, and celebrate the history behind their making. Please help me in welcoming the wonderful Asha Kolain Hussein to the stage.
Thank you, Deja. So I know that we are social distanced, wearing masks, redefining every aspect of our existence. But for the next 7 minutes, I invite you to experience this art because it is a celebration of what you have created. inspired by your voices to honor the history that you are making. But before we get started, I'm going to need something from you, and that is a beat. I'm gonna need a little bit of your energy. So in a second here, we're gonna bring down the house lights, and when the lights come back up, I'm gonna ask you for the beat. But I think that we should practice before so that when the lights come up, we're ready. Sound good? Okay. So it's a 4-count beat. It's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the trick with this is the first 3 counts make noise, the 4th is off. So what I suggest is we go hands, feet, feet, off. Try it with me. Ready? Hands, feet, feet, off. Hands, feet, feet, off. Ooh. Should we try it again? All right. Hands, feet, feet, off. Hands, feet, feet, off. Hands, feet, feet, off. Okay, really good. So when you guys make this beat, I'm gonna cue you on it when the lights come back up. When you make this, I want you to think about the fact that we all get to be here in person right now, that we all get to create this together. I want you to make the arena shake. I want everyone on the live streams to feel that energy, to feel your unity, for the communities in Dallas to feel this. So I'll cue you on the beat when I'm ready, and for now we're gonna turn your attention to your voices.
If I'm really thinking about what I'm really feeling as I'm warming up, like I'm in the zone, is, hey, I'm gonna let go. I'm about to let go. Like I'm about to unleash, and
I'm here to win. I'm here to, like someone else said, unleash, but also it's just something I love to do. There's not really much I get to think about at the time, which I think is why I love it so much. We're literally just playing. So I'm thinking.
I totally have the same thing. When I'm with my volleyball people, like I just actually stand up when I'm small, and so it's really freeing just being with other tall, confident women to like walk into a place, even though you're like 7 feet tall, and just owning it and loving every part of it. So
I speak to those girls who maybe are told that they're too small, or they're not fast enough, or that they're not strong enough, that those things can be built, and that everything is a skill, and we can always get better at whatever we set our minds to. So
that persistence is what is going to get you there, not that you have to be great at it right away.
And like you just get to work hard at something that like you have a talent for, and that has been so freeing for me.
Knowing how hard we work to like make those beautiful moments happen really just comes out in screaming, yelling, smiling, slapping the floor, jumping up and down, rolling on the floor, whatever. Like sometimes I do run laps just because it's unbelievable and I can't even control it in my mind, you know. Like it's just it's just so cool, and it's hard to express, but because it's just something that I think I show.
Like the freedom to be a badass, the freedom to like be aggressive.
I just express myself by, I don't know, being loud, loving every point. Like if I get a block, I'm on the ground. Like I'm on the ground rolling all the time. So like
the cool thing about us being free in that aspect is not a lot of countries are free in that way.
For me, I just really want to be an inspiration to like Black athletes that are coming out of poverty, that I play for, and like why I go so hard on the court is because I want to be that inspiration. I want that kid to be inspired and motivated to, have the wildest dreams, to be able to, be a pro athlete or be a doctor, be whatever they want.
Just be a role model for those young athletes, and not just in the way that we perform on the court, but beyond that, how we speak, what we talk about, what we represent.
And like, I know exactly who I am whenever I step on the court.
imagine with me for this chosen moment that beat is like the story of your life. When you were young, it began with rhythm, simplicity. It was like a beat with the potential to become a symphony. It was like you had a blank canvas waiting for you to paint, a clean slate calling you to create. And each of you, uniquely from different states, countries, languages, from wherever the beginning is, each of you began to paint vibrant hues onto the canvas of your life. You began to throw notes into the beat of your existence. Some of you from concrete cities with subways and traffic on the way to practice. Some of you from small towns where you were the first to move away to play your sport. Some of you from homes that redefine family. Some are first-generation professional athletes. Some were the sporty girls, choosing training over summers. Some are raising children, strong mothers. Some had your first bump set spike with your siblings by your side. And when funding was hard to come by, some of you took a roll of duct tape to your worn-out sneakers, borrowed equipment, and you're so proud of what you had to do to make it. These stories, histories of the women inside of this collective team, began to write themselves multicolored on the blank canvas of your dreams. The injury, sweat, passion, bruises, tears, discipline mixed itself together, tore at the corners, gave character to who you are as a competitor. In the midst of all of that, in the middle of your unique beat of life, you found it. You found a path of responsibility that led you to your craft, a path walked by professional athletes marked completely with fierce resilience, a path built on the shoulders of athletic, intelligent women, of grandmothers and ancestors who are proud to see you running on the path that they could only walk. A path that rests steadily on the work of women who came before you, on partnerships with men who encourage you. And this path, it leads onto fields and courts and weight rooms, spaces where you are free. Spaces where you say, challenges are motivation. Injury is not the end. No dream is too big. Where motherhood empowers you from within. Where you represent your country and say, I am the best at what I do. My talent is unmatched. I'm the top 1%, the All-American, the Olympian. Where you say, I am brave. Call me beast, call me strong, call me boss, I dare you. Here, I am unapologetic. Here, I take up space, and in the face of adversity, I uplift my fellow women. I compete to win. And for our generation, with the desire to improve our nations, these spaces, they morph into platforms where you play for every human who has ever questioned their potential. For every woman with the dream of a presidential career, to empower the LGBTQ+ community, for every underrepresented athlete coming out of poverty, so that they can see the freedom to play, incarnated, passionately. Now, to close, you as professional athletes actively redefine the status quos of your communities. So you play to take down the nets of racial inequality, smudge the painted foul lines of poverty, wear the jerseys of gender and income equality, until every human celebrates the unique beat that makes them them. The unique beat that makes them them.
Athletes Unlimited has assembled the best players in the world. Our athletes have proudly represented the national teams of Azerbaijan, Brazil, Canada, the Dominican Republic, Great Britain, Italy, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and the United States. It is in honor of this rich makeup that we play a medley of international anthems followed by the Anthem of the United States. Athletes Unlimited is more than a game. You, our athletes, are leaders and change makers. More than pro players, you are role models for the next generation of athletes. Athletes Unlimited began with softball last summer. We continue with volleyball now and look forward to debuting lacrosse this summer. Together, we're revolutionizing the world of professional sports. Let's continue to make history. Let's open the book of Unlimited and let's officially launch Athletes Unlimited Volleyball.
Gonna treat tonight just like Kansas, ripping through it like a tornado.